just announced yesterday, Dricus Plessis and Kamaru Usman are going to be fighting at a UFC Fight Night, July 18th in Oklahoma City. And this is a really, really good fight because Kamaru Usman has been asking for a middleweight championship fight for God knows how long. And the fact that it's against Dricus Plessis, this is the perfect matchup for him to be able to come back and maybe even become double champ in the future because he's fought Sean Strickland already. He beat Sean Strickland a long time ago, and I feel like he would beat Sean Strickland right now. And this is the perfect path for Kamaru Usman to become double champ, almost in an easy way. You know, I don't see a way for him to lose to Dricus Plessis. You know, we always talk about how formidable Dricus Plessis is, but Kamaru Usman is one of the toughest, most well-rounded fighters we've ever seen. He has the grappling, he has good striking. He can take down Dricus and hold. He can do what Kamzat did to Dricus. You know, he can really do what Kamzat did to Dricus and dominate him on the ground and just put pressure on him and force him to grapple and make him tired and just make it easy for him. And then if he wins that fight, I feel like he deserves a title shot because Dricus just lost the title to Khamzat Chimaev. And if Kamaru Usman beats Dricus with ease, it only makes sense to give him the title shot. Maybe the UFC would make him fight Brendan Allen, which is another toss-up. He would dominate Brendan Allen because Brendan Allen is not even, in my opinion, he's not on Dricus' level in terms of imposing his will, in terms of the grappling, in terms of being able to stand there with Kamaru Usman. So yeah, I think this is an easy path for Kamaru to get in there and get the title. And let's just talk about Dricus Plessis for a second. Now, we know Dricus Plessis, we learned over time, after he beat Robert Whittaker, we understood that he can actually fight, right? After he knocked Robert Whittaker out, that made me feel like, okay, we can stop talking trash about this guy, we can stop making it seem like he's guessing, he's lucky, and we understand that he actually has some really good skill, especially after his second fight with Sean Strickland, when he dominated him on the feet. That showed me that Dricus is improving every single fight. He just so happened to fight Khamzat Chimaev to defend the belt, and Khamzat Chimaev, you know, did what he does. And it's crazy that Khamzat lost to Strickland. MMA doesn't make sense. Dricus Plessis dominated Sean Strickland both fights. Well, the first fight was kind of close, but the second fight, he dominated him on the feet. And Khamzat Chimaev, who's one of the most dominant grapplers we've ever seen in the sport, ever, more dominant than Khabib, you know, loses to him. He loses to Sean Strickland, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's, this sport is crazy. But yeah, Dricus showed that he actually has some skill. He actually gets better every fight. And the game plan for Dricus Plessis is to keep it on the feet. You know, when you look at Kamaru Usman's last fight against Joaquin Buckley, his striking looked mediocre. It looked not the best. He looks kind of slow, kind of old. The jab isn't as fast anymore, which is one of Kamaru Usman's most prominent strikes, is how powerful his jab is. You know, he knocked out Gilbert Burns with the jab. And I just think that if Dricus can keep it on the feet, he has a better chance of winning, because when it gets to the third, fourth, and fifth rounds, Dricus gets better. He doesn't give up. He doesn't stop. He keeps the ball rolling. I'm not saying that Kamaru Usman gives up, but Dricus does well under pressure. He does very, very good under pressure. He's very formidable, but I feel like if he keeps him on the feet, it gives him the chance to save his energy even more without having to grapple as much. And Kamaru Usman, when he gets tired, when he decides to stand on the feet, he'll stay there. You know, he'll stay on the feet. But Dricus is very smart. He's a very, very, very smart fighter, and he understands the threat of the takedown that Kamaru Usman brings. And yeah, he just needs to focus on keeping on the feet, keeping him at range, boxing his head off. Yeah, and for Kamaru Usman, total opposite, right? Total opposite. Kamaru Usman needs to get it on the ground as fast as possible, because if he gets it on the ground, you know, to me, Kamaru Usman is a much better grappler, a much better wrestler. We saw what he did to Joaquin Buckley, all 5 rounds. The 5th round, not so much, but 1 through 4, he dominated him, right, on the ground, killed him on the ground. So if he gets on the ground, keep it there, you know, beat him up on the ground, same way he did to Sean Strickland. He beat Sean Strickland up on the ground. He beat Joaquin Buckley up on the ground. Just keep it there, right? Don't give Dricus the chance to use to impose his will, and when you're tired now, he comes in, he's fighting a different fight, and you're already exhausted, and he's just getting started, you know. So I feel this should be an easy fight for Kamaru Usman, not because Dricus du Plessis is not skilled, it's because Kamaru Usman, his game plan is always straightforward. You know, use the wrestling, show the strikes, use the wrestling, kind of like Islam Makhachev, very similar to Islam, but I think he's a lot stronger than du Plessis. He's more athletic than du Plessis. Maybe not as much right now because he's a little bit older, but we doubted him in the first fight with Joaquin Buckley, and look what he did. You know, we talked about his knees, wobbly cobbly knees, but he did okay. He won the fight. He dominated the fight. Yeah, and if he wants to keep it on the feet, I think he just try to use that jab. Try to develop the jab even more. Get the jab going early in the fight, and keep du Plessis at distance, because if he gets tired, you know, Kamaru Usman has decent cardio, but if he gets tired, Dricus is gonna come forward, and when Dricus comes forward, he's falling over his shots, but they're landing. Right? We saw that in the Sean Strickland fight, the first one and the second one. Right? We saw that against Izzy. We saw that against Robert Whittaker. You know, it's just he's just so unorthodox that it's the most unpredictable techniques you've ever seen. But this is a really good fight, and I hope that Kamaru Usman gets the win, because I would love to see Kamaru Usman fight Sean Strickland again, which I think he would win. And Kamaru Usman getting double champ right now, in my opinion, Kamaru Usman is probably top 10 of all time, top 12, right? I think he's a little bit over DC on my GOAT list, but him becoming double champ and beating Sean Strickland, who just beat Khamzat Chimaev, who is pound for pound number 3, this would be really good for his resume. It would also push him probably to top 8 in the GOAT list, because his resume is stacked. You know, he has a really good resume. In my opinion, he beat Khamzat Chimaev already. But let's not talk about that. I think he already beat Khamzat. I think that was a robbery, or at least it should have been a draw. I give Kamaru rounds 2 and 3. If anyone disagrees with that, please go back and watch the fight. Go back and watch rounds 2 and 3 and tell me that Kamaru Usman didn't win that fight. Let's be real. Yeah. So I'm excited for this fight, July 18th. This is the weekend after McGregor comes back. So the UFC is over here cooking stuff up. So McGregor comes back July 11th, and then Kamaru and Dricus fight July 18th. So this is a really good fight. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.